welcome back to CBH4K, and this is my tier list for Xcom 2's abilities. Now, it's not all the abilities. It's not from my it's not from a modded game, or from my modded game, or even all the abilities you can unlock with the training center. No, it's just the mainstay of abilities. I'll go through all of them and I'll rank them from must pick, great pick, okay pick, and skippable, and finally almost never pick. Now this is subjective. This is based on my personal opinion. And if you have your own opinions, please feel free to put it in the comment section. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Oh yeah, one more thing. If you like this video, hit the like button. And subscribe to my channel if you want to get more content like this. Okay, now for real. Let's begin. We'll go through the list in alphabetical order. Anything I don't recognize right away, we'll just skip and we'll go to the next one. And then we'll go, and then once we're done with the list, the stuff I know, then I'll look back through it. But this time I'll have a wiki or something open, and then I'll read what it was, because sometimes, to be perfectly fair, most of the stuff I'm not going to recognize is probably going to go in the almost never because I don't pick it. And there's a reason for it, but I'll read the wiki and then I'll make an assessment as to why I don't pick it. But let's start with adaptive aim. This is a mech spark ability, sorry. And when you go into overdrive, you have a recoil penalty for your second shot, or your subsequent shot after the first one. This fixes that. It's an okay pick. It's a decent one. You can pick it. Not great, but you know, not everything is left is going to be like stellar. Aftershock. Trying to remember what that is. Oh yeah. You hit somebody with your lightning and you get like a bonus to aim. I say skippable because there's another ability on this list I think you get the same as. Yeah, parry. Parry is a must pick. And amplify and aftershock are skippable in my opinion, because parry, it basically lets your Templar be invincible for one attack, and you don't even have to like kill them or even wound them significantly. It's just after you do the attack, you can use it to activate parry. It's a great way to lock something down, like an Andromedon. You know it's going to do like a melee attack or something like that, like a berserker or something like that. You run in there, you hit it, then you activate parry, and boom, you have someone who is protected against any attacks. It's really good. Now, Aftershock gives you like a nice boost to your aim. People who show, I think it's damage too. I think it's damage. And Amplify, you just put a lens on it. You don't even do damage with it. You just put a lens, and it increases people's. Yeah, this is what increases people's damage. This increases people's aim. They're okay. It's sort of like a good teamwork ability, but in my mind, one of the best defensive perks is right here. And it's really good with the team, because while the Templar is engaged and keeping somebody busy, you can have your other soldiers doing other stuff. It's a really good ability. Just really good. It's when it's next to these two. Okay. If they didn't take out parry, I probably would take one of these two. But since parry's there, it's like, sorry, I'm gonna pick parry every single time. Aim. That is the ability when you. I'm trying to remember what aim does. Oh yeah, it increases your aim when you go into defense. I think it's a ranger ability. Yeah, it's an okay pick. Like you need to have a boost to your aim. Sometimes that's just the way the game goes. It's an okay pick. I don't hate it. And also, all these abilities are pretty good in XCOM 2. Like, there's not one like really bad ability that's just awful, but there's some that I don't think are like worth it. That's why I put them in the almost never. But for the most part, they're pretty good. Annihilation. I don't remember what Annihilation does. That's okay, we can skip it. We can skip it. Oh, I think it goes with... Yeah, I think it goes with Banish. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Arcwave first. Arcwave is good because it does damage. Like when you attack with it, you do damage in a quick cascade. You hit somebody, blam, blam, blam. Like multiple hit people get hit. I think it's... Here's the thing. If you were to put it against parry, I probably would still pick parry over it. So I'll say a great pick. You know, yeah, I'll put it like that. How's that? Because Arcwave is very useful. Especially when you get it. You can knock out a weakened opponent, or if you set up right, you can take out multiple opponents with it, or weaken multiple opponents. It's a decent pick. We'll take it. Of course, it also could backfire on you because it does friendly fire, I think. Banish. Fire all your rounds at an enemy. That's a great pick. It doesn't really lean into the Reaper's stealth abilities, but it's useful for finishing off somebody powerful. And you just want them off the board. Okay, I looked at it quickly on the wiki here, and I think, yeah, it's basically... I don't use it because I use homing mine instead, but I'll say it's an okay pick. It goes great with a Banish, but again, doesn't really lean into the stealth aspect of it. Let's go down to homing mine. Let's look for that first. Here it is. Yeah. The reason why that's a great pick, this is a must pick, is it goes into their stealth ability. Like, the Reaper is the ultimate stealth unit in this game. And that homing mine, it keeps them in stealth, and it's such a good, like, aha. It's such a good, like, I placed down my trap card moment in the game. Like, especially when they're next to each other or they swarm. Oh man, a well-placed shot. Dude, that is so good. Plus when you buff it with other abilities in the skill tree we'll get to. But yeah, it's really good. Battle Lord. Every time someone takes a shot, your skirmisher gets one action. Now here's the thing. I want to say this is a must pick, but it needs a build in order to work properly. So I'll just say great pick. You need to give it... you need to give your skirmisher a lot of defense. Like, you can give them like that defensive bonus that the specialist gives to people, or you can give them like a personal combat sim, or that increases their toughness or their dodge ability, and various other things. And if you do that well enough, a Battle Lord Tempest, a Battle Lord Skirmisher will be hard to get rid of. So if like you walk into a puncher pod, like a big pod, you just leave your Skirmisher out in the in like good cover, and you have them being protected by your specialist with their defense bonus they give, thanks to a gremlin. That skirmisher should be almost impossible to kill, but it's still possible. That's why I say it's a great pick, because it is, you gotta set it up first. But it's a great pick, and if you set it up right, or even if you just have like one person shoot at them, it's still a great pick, because you can go in there and you can have like your revenge moment on them. Yeah. Ooh, look at this. Blade Master. You know what? That's a great pick, because you got to build. Once you pick it, I strongly recommend you pick Blade Master and just lean into it by picking a bunch of blade stuff, because my Blade Rangers have been putting in work. Ugh. Plus the Blade Master, it doesn't seem like much of a bonus to get +2 damage and increased aim, but trust me, it makes your ranges well more, a great deal more powerful. Also, yeah, Battle Lord, you take an immediate action, isn't it? Yeah, you take immediate action. No, it's still a great pick. I still say it's a great pick, because it's so effective. If you're in the right situation, it lets you just destroy an entire. Well, not destroy, but it could let you destroy it potentially. All right, Blade Master. With Blade Storm, even without Blade Master, Blade Storm does a lot of damage. It can finish off a weakened opponent that makes the mistake of charging at you. It's really, really devastating. It makes your Ranger nearly invincible to chrysalids. If you give them this right, I think Under Armor, I forgot the name of the Under Armor, but the Under Armor that does damage when anything gets close to it, gets close to that unit, plus Blade Storm, that is an insta-kill on any. Plus Blade Master and Blade Storm, that's an insta-kill on any crystal that comes in your general direction. So useful. So useful. Blast Padding. I wanted to say that's an okay pick. Yeah, aim you get when you hunker down. I remember now. I remember. You remember? Blood Trail. Blood Trail. I think it goes. Here's the thing. It lets you finish somebody off, but at the same time, they have to be wounded first. I don't know. It has a chance to reveal. If it's in combination with other stuff, it's an okay pick. But by itself, it's no. Bombard. It basically increases the effectiveness of the heavy weapons for the spark. It's okay. By the way, we'll put closer it is, more on the left it is, the lesser it is. More on the right, the better it is. Okay? Since the lists are starting to fill up, since the rankings are starting to fill up. Bulwark. It's a great teamwork pick. But it leaves your spark vulnerable, and the spark is an expensive unit. If it was less expensive, then I would say, yeah, sure, whatever. But it's so expensive, I don't want to put him in danger. So it's skippable. I can't read this one. Oh, Capacity Discharge. This is a good. attack perk, but it's not. It's not like, oh, we're gonna win with it. Like, it's sort of like, it's all right. Chain shot. You shoot, and then you just shoot again, but with an aim penalty. It's a great pick. If you get it on another soldier besides the heavy, it's a great pick. Like a sniper. Oh, chain shot is really good. It's even okay on the heavy. That's why I put it a great pick. I don't know what channeling field is. Channel, I know what that is. That's from the Templar. Every time someone does, I think you get a better. They leave behind a. Actually, I don't really remember that, so we'll put it over here. Combat protocol. I was about to say that it leaves behind like a little ball of energies for you to get, but it's sort of like, does it do that? Combat protocol. Combat protocol is a great pick because you can finish off a weakened opponent with it, or you can set up a number of things with it when you. Especially against a powerful tech enemy, like I say tech enemy, but robotic enemy, like a mech or something like that. You have combat protocol. It's a good finisher. Good finisher. Because it doesn't miss, and it's a good way to make sure a powerful unit is off the field. Anything that guarantees damage is always going to be at least an okay pick in my mind. At least an okay pick. Anything that guarantees damage. So channel basically is whenever an enemy dies, they leave a little ball of energy. So yeah. I was like, I don't know where to put this. It's one of those picks that, you know what, it's good for helping the Templar do a little bit more damage. So I'll put it in here and I'll make it, I'll put it above aim. Combat presence. Every time the skirmisher has the ability to give someone a free action. I guess that's an okay pick. But here's the thing. There's so many ways to get another action. But I feel like it fits the Templar build pretty well. So I'll give it a great pick. But early stuff. Conceal. It's great for a stealth build. But it needs other things to make the stealth build work. Covering fire. You shoot not just on movement, but on actions, like attacks and stuff like that. Okay, covering fire. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because I want to just say skippable. But you know what? I'll say okay pick. Like, it's good in certain situations, but it's not like overwhelmingly useful. Deadeye. It lets you finish people off, but you know what? We'll put it here. And the reason I say skippable, let's compare it to combat protocol. Combat protocol is a guaranteed kill. Deadeye is like, you got a percentage, and it lowers the percentage that you can kill. Like if it's 100, like you got somebody with great aim, Deadeye is beautiful. But if they don't have great aim, it's sort of like, it's kind of skippable. You know what? We'll put it at the end of the okay pick. Death from above. You go right there. Like, I know I pick it on my snipers when I do Let's Plays, but that's just because, just for simplicity and clarity. Like if I was just picking it at random, or if I was giving, if I was just building the snipers, basically whatever stuff I think is the best stuff from their sniper perk tree, I would skip Death from Above. Death from Above, like, it gives you a nice bonus, but it's predicated on you getting the high ground. And sometimes it's better not to have the high ground. Sometimes it's better to just have the low ground and just do your best with that. Okay, so every time you move up, deep cover is... I forgot what deep cover does. It doesn't... You know what? We'll hold off on that. Deep focus. Deep focus, it basically gives... It enhances the Templar's damage also because it gives them more focus they can generate. And it lets them use them more abilities. That's a great pick. Great pick. Deflects. This has saved my Templars a lot. It has saved them a lot. It's not guaranteed protection, but it's so good. I'm like, yeah, you take it. Demolition. I almost never. Like, who cares if you blow up the cover? Who cares? Kill the guy. Kill him. Grenades do that. Grenades blow up cover too, and they do some damage to the person who was hiding behind it. Like, it's not as bad. Yeah, it's not as bad as Death from Above. But I'm just not. It's not like going to save the day. All right. Distraction. Every time you use the blow something up with the call it the mine, the detonator, the mine thing, the mine thing that the Templar had, not the Templar, the Reaper has. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great pick. That's a great one. It lets you go right back into stealth. It really feeds into their ability. You know what? It's a must pick. It's a must pick because it feeds into their stealth ability. And you're gonna use them for mostly stealth. Trust me. It's just a good idea. Domination. Like, I don't even have to really explain it. Ever vigilant. Even once they shoot with their shot in the Overwatch, Specialist gets to shoot again. I'll say it's a great pick. Especially later on, once they get a ton of damage, that is with their gun, dude. It gets sick what they can do with that. Exchange. You swap with a unit. It's great for getting a unit out of trouble. Again, I use my Templars as tanks. Probably shouldn't do that, but you know, it's an okay pick. I can't really fault it. Face off. You shoot at every enemy. It's a good finisher. It's also a good starter. You want to wink at a bunch of enemies. Yeah, it's really good, and maybe even wound some or kill some. It's face off it's a chef's kiss. Let's just put it that way. Fanfare. It's a good when you shoot multiple times at one opponent. That's I consider one of the better ones. Yeah. I don't consider it as good as Face Off, because Face Off it wipes out an entire pod if you know what you're doing with Face Off. Field Medic, dude, that's another great one. Are you kidding? It's more powerful with domination because you're gonna get hit, especially in the later missions when it gets a little bit longer and you have multiple pods to deal with, and then you gotta go to another level. Like the killing of the chosen missions, the assassination of the chosen missions, those, you're gonna need that field medic. Trust me. Not every time, but a lot of time. Fortress makes you immune to a lot of things. I think it's a great pick. It basically protects you from various negative stature effects. That's good. So every time you kill an enemy, you get a single action to just a move. Increases your move distance. Yeah, it falls into that skirmisher world of being a offensive weapon to just go in and just wreck house. Fuse, you can blow explosives up with your mind. I want to say it's a must pick because literally everything carries explosives, so yeah. Ghost. I'm going to be honest with you. I almost never pick it. The reason why I almost never pick it is because it makes a nice little copy, but there's other things late in the Templar's ability tree that are way more useful. Like, way more useful. Like, looking at Ionic Storm. I want to say Iconic Storm. It's Ionic Storm. It's Ionic Storm, and it's iconic. Yeah, we'll say it's a must pick because it's so powerful. It does a lot of damage. It's like, plus I use my Templar as a tank. Ugh. I don't remember what Guardian does. Hail of bullets. Costs you 3 ammo, but you always do damage. It's a great pick. I don't always pick it. It depends on the situation, but Hail of bullets is usually a solid one. Haywire Protocol. I'm going to get some heat for this, but you know what? No. It's a great pick. Especially later on when you get good hacking ability. But it takes a while for it to get there. Heavy Ordnance. Dude, like, if you know anything about me, you know I'm going to pick the grenades. Highlands, an extra mine. Of course. Hollow targeting. It's a great pick. It's good in case you're. It lets you it gives somebody else a better shot. That's why it's usually good to start with the heavy. Hunter Protocol. I don't remember that too well. Implacable. I also don't remember. Insanity. I remember Insanity. Insanity is a good... Like, it's not great, but it's... You know what? Insanity, you can go right here. You're a great pick, because... in the end, you do disable an opponent. So I like that. Inspire. It's another move one. So yeah, I'll put it right here. Yeah. Probably as useful as Combat Presence. I think Combat Presence might be a little bit better. Interrupt. Interrupt people while they're taking shots at you. It's a great pick. Battle Lord's a little bit better though, because you can do it multiple times. Intimidate. It frightens people when they shoot at you. Something the Spark does. You're getting shot at again. skippable. I mean, it's good in concert with other things, but you're getting shot at the end of the day. Like, you're getting closer to being killed. Like, I don't know. And again, the spark is expensive. Invert, where you swap positions with a enemy. This can be potentially really good or just like okay. So I'll put it here at great. It's a great pick. Judgment. It's basically the same thing but for skirmishers. Again, but skirmishers is a little bit tougher to me. You can take a little bit more of a beating. I'm okay with him dying. With them dying instead of my expensive spark. Killzone. Something you should know about Killzone. I like it, but here's the problem with Killzone. It's sometimes your sniper can't shoot around walls. So sometimes the enemy was obscured, and you can only use it. An enemy can only be shot at once with it. So while I do like it, I'm gonna have to say it's an okay pick. Lightning hands. I mean, it's one of the best things about the sharpshooter. Long watch. In comparison to return fire, it's a little bit better. Let's look at return fire. It's basically shoot back every time somebody shoots at you. Like, I'm not too thrilled about that. Like, again, getting shot at first, kind of a negative. Manual override. +1 to everything in your cooldowns. The reason I never pick it, I almost never pick it, is because when you run out of things to do, when you run out of stuff, all your abilities need to be cooldown, like Skirmisher, probably everybody else's stuff is on cooldown too, so you might want to just sit back and overwatch a few turns and then proceed. Because the way I use it is I use everything I can, no matter the situation. Sometimes I save it if it's just a one-use item like a grenade, but usually I just use everything I can in a fight. And if the mission I need to, I shouldn't have saved my grenade, but sometimes it's better just to use the grenade up or use the ability up and just focus on the now rather than like three pods from now. Like, you might not even, like, you might get a very easy pod to deal with. So yeah, it's almost never use. Medical protocol. This is a great pick. It's a bit better than combat protocol, but they're kind of on the same level. Needle. A little bit of armor piercing. It's a great pick. Nova. Yeah, you can blow up your mech with this. Yeah, it's pretty good. Does a lot of significant damage, but you can only use like once or twice because it costs HP to use it at one point or another. So yeah, gotta be careful. Null Lance. Do I even have to explain why? Overcharge. I don't remember that. Phantom. Sometimes it's a great pick. Other times not so much. The reason I'm not like too high on Phantom is because it comes next to Blade Master, and well, I'll always pick Blade Master over Phantom. So it's an okay pick. Because it does give you a stealth unit. I was about to say well, maybe it's skippable then. But, you know, it does give you. Pillar. You make a high cover when you're... it costs you 1 charge of your focus, though. Okay. Here's something you should know about the Templar. I use him as a tank. So the pillar... you're still flankable with the pillar. And if your enemy's close to you, it doesn't really help you. Like it helps a little bit, but it's not like, oh, I'm about to win with the pillar. Like, no. It's not that useful. All things considered. Quick draw. You fire first with your pistol and it's a free action. I say great. It doesn't end your turn. No, it's not a free action. It doesn't end your turn. But it's like, honestly, Lightning Hands is better. Lightning Hands is way better. Yeah. But in concert with everything else in the pistol tree, quick draw is just excellent. Rainmaker, don't remember that. Rapid fire, I remember that. You shoot again. It's a great pick. It's a great one. I mean, it doesn't like insta kill anything. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but you know, it's a great pick. You shoot twice. I mean, I think sometimes it's a penalty, but you know, shooting twice is good. Reaper. Boom. I don't even have to really explain it. Even without Blade Master, Reaper is so good. It lets you just kill or finish off a pod. It's so strong. So strong. Like, if you want to see how useful Reaper is, you should probably watch one of my Let's Play series on Xcom 2. Reaper is so devastating. Reckoning. I don't remember that. Reflect. Yeah, I think it reflects attacks back. Yeah, this is reflects attacks back. It costs us charge, but it's a must pick. Again, it works with the defensive unit that I'm building with the Templar. Works really good. Remote start is one of those picks that's gotta go in the must pick. It's super useful. It might be it's situational, I'll admit it, but when you land a good remote start, oof. It's so good. Reflex. I forgot what that does, so we'll skip it for now. Repair. You have to pick it in order so the mech doesn't die, basically. That's the only way to heal a mech. If there's another way, let me know in the comments. But I think that's the only way. Without using a mod. Restoration. Oh, this is great for late game or in like one of the bigger missions that take a real long time to just... Oh, yeah, you can hit restoration and just send it to heal everybody. Really good. Retribution, don't remember that. I think, okay, Revival Protocol. I had an incident in my Avenger Defense. I'm going to put it up here. People who've seen that, you will know why. Run and gun. It's always fun. Do I want to put that at great or... Okay, run and gun, I'll put you at great. Actually, yeah. Like, literally anybody with run and gun on them is so much better. Because they can just charge up in a good position and flank someone, shoot them, bam. So much better. Okay, rupture. I don't know about that. I don't too much remember. Sacrifice, don't remember. Salvo, you fire a grenade and then you can move. That's an okay pick. Saturation fire, you fire a cone of damage. Costs you all your ammo, I think. Like 3 ammo. With the right build, this can be a great pick. So I'll say saturation fire. It's kind of a must pick. Does a lot of damage. Actually, hold on. Saturation fire, you can go right here. And a great pick. Because you're predicated on an area, a cone, just like Killzone. It depends on the weapon that's used. Oh, hold on. Since we're talking about dependable, it's gotta go. It's gotta be okay. It's just okay. Okay, what's this one? I can barely scanning protocol. That's good for revealing faceless, I guess, but it's skippable. Schism. I forgot what that does. So we'll go to serial. It lets you keep killing while you're the sniper, and if you're high enough aim, that makes you a monster. It literally turns any unit into a monster. If you get serial on it, they're just deadly. Shadow Step. I like to call it the selfish lightning reflexes, because it doesn't take away the overwatch. It just lets you be immune to overwatches. So yeah, it's predicated on them having overwatch, but chances are you're gonna run into an overwatch at one point or another. That's a good predication to be in. Shadow Strike. It fits into their build, but I don't really use it. It's an okay pick. I don't really use it. Shrapnel. I think it increases the damage effect of the mine. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great pick. You know what? Yeah. It enhances it. So we gotta put it in there. Shredder. Good for removing armor. It's really good. Like even if it doesn't kill, it lets the grenadier or whoever has Shredder like knock off a few pips of armor and just make it easier for everyone else to take them out. It's a good one. They have the hit, of course, but you know, not every perk is perfect. We'll put it up right here. Silent Killer doesn't raise your likelihood of being discovered. Feeds into their ability as being the greatest stealth unit. Solace is a good team-wide buff. I suggest you get it. Soul Harvest, I don't remember. Soul Steel. Yeah, it does decent damage. Again, guaranteed damage will always go into great. Stasis Field and Stasis. Stasis Shield and Stasis. Both of them, like, I abuse this ability in both of its forms. Like, Stasis Shield lets you do it for your enemy, for your ally, but Stasis puts an enemy in stasis. Great defensive. It protects somebody and it takes somebody out of the fight. If you can't kill them this turn, it's a great way to just like, okay, that mech is It's too dangerous. I'm putting him in stasis. Bam. I don't have to worry about him for a turn. Steady hands. If you don't move, you're, I think, you get like a bonus to your aim. I guess that's okay. I guess it's not that great. Sting, I don't remember Sting. Strike. I want to say great, but you got to get the mech in danger. So I'll say it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like, I don't have that much faith in it. You know what? I'll put it here. I'll put it here. Stun strike. I don't use stun strike that much. And the times I do use it, it's like, oh, that's kind of lackluster. Suppression. I don't know what about stun strike. I just don't really use it. You know, let's focus on this. Suppression. You're skippable as well. I very rarely, like, Overwatch does the same thing when you think about it, but suppression gives like an aim penalty to people. Like, it's kind of like an extra thing. But sustain is a great defensive perk in case you get in a bad situation. Like, you don't even realize the person is could die, but you know it's good for your tank, aka the Templar, and it's good for your side operative. Target definition. Believe it or not, it gives you a great early warning to what's coming ahead. Makes the Reaper an even better scout. Just the perfect scout. Threat assessment. Oh yeah, it makes your Overwatches. And when they're put like when you use the gremlin on them, lets the Overwatch them pick. Actually, I don't remember that one. Total Combat, don't remember. Untouchable, kind of remember, but I'm not sure, so let's hold off on that. Void Conduit. It's basically like the stasis, but you drain life from the person. I don't know. I want to say a must pick. You know, I'd say a great pick. It is a great pick. Actually, yeah. You know what? That's not fair that we put this stasis stuff in. There you go. Void Rift. There you go. Volatile mix. That makes grenades more dangerous. Won't get any argument from me on that one. Wrecking Ball. Let you crash some walls. That's skippable. Waylay. I don't remember that one. What was that about? There's a lot to hear to remember. So, Whiplash. It's a free action and it does electrical damage. But it misses more often, so I'll say it's a great pick. Wrath. It's sort of like the reverse of Justice, right? Instead of pulling them to you, you pull in towards them. It's a great one. If you set it up right, it can be a great pick. Like I said, with the right buffs, skirmisher becomes super powerful with that. Just like with Battle Lord. When you have Battle Lord and Wrath, you could forget it. Oh, and defensive, oh my, yeah, you should be a monster. Waylay, I don't remember. Zero in increases your ability to do damage if you take a second shot on the same opponent. it just fits overwhelmingly well in the Templar build. So yeah, 0-1 is perfect for the Templar. I also looked up Hunter Protocol. Yeah. Okay. So channeling field. Every time you miss a shot, actually every time somebody shoots at you, you get 1+1 damage. So that's skippable because you gotta get shot at. Actually, that's worse. That's almost never pick because it's next to Hunter Protocol and Hunter Protocol. Every time somebody's revealed, you get a free Overwatch shot on that enemy that was revealed. So that's actually one of the better picks for a mech. So where's Rainmaker? Okay, Rainmaker was actually what I was thinking about earlier. Bombard is just where you launch the bit in the air, and that's actually worse because it comes next to Repair, and Repair is way better. That it wasn't a sharpshooter like I originally thought. That was a ranger. This is a sharpshooter ability, and when you hunker down, you confer an extra 20 aim for your first shot in that falling. I don't really use hunker down. If you use it in concert with deep cover, when you automatically go into hunker down, I guess it's okay. See what else can I just spot with my eye? Oh, Untouchable. Untouchable is that's a ranger perk. Oh, Implacable. I see Implacable here. If you score one more kill this turn, you're gonna have a bonus move. A bonus move is pretty great. And I think Untouchable is the one where you just where you're invincible. It's sort of like Deflect, but you got to kill something first. So I'll put it a little bit earlier. It's not as powerful as Deflect as the other one, unfortunately. It's unfortunate, but true. Now let's see what's the last one. I think it's Rupture. Fires a shot that deals critical damage. Target, if hit, will also take 3 additional damage from all sources. That is a good, teamwork perk. Rupture. That's a good one. It's great. It's great. We'll say great. Because it's predicated on it hitting first, and then everyone else hitting afterwards. So, what else? I think we got pretty much everything here, didn't we? Aid protocol now grants a target a covering fire over 1. Okay. That's a great perk. That's a great perk. It's wait, threat assessment. Honestly, no. It's an okay one. Thinking about it, it's basically give someone covering fire, but in a nice, it's like a nice plus something else for that ability. So yeah, I'll say it's a great perk. Not every perk needs to be like an insta kill. Guardian grants a 50% chance during Overwatch to perform an additional shot if the previous Overwatch shot hits. There's no limit to this. It's basically limited by ammo. So I'll say it's a great pick. It's a great, you know what? It's one of the specialist better abilities. Insanity now deals damage with Schism. Is that how good is that? I say that's you know what? It's guaranteed damage. Guaranteed damage is always good. Trying to figure out see anything else that just pops out in my brain right now. Oh, sacrifice. It basically has everyone shoot at the mech. That's skippable. Again, the mech is a really expensive unit. It's hard to have any sort of like, oh, sacrifice is very expensive unit that costs you 2 cores to make and a bunch of supplies. Oh yeah, and some Illyrium. Yeah. Just throw it all down the toilet. Just throw it all down there. Get rid of it. Oh no. Let's go overcharge. Rend attacks have a chance of 33% chance to generate focus. It goes great with their ability to do other stuff. So yeah. I said other stuff like yeah, whatever. Just put it in there. Soul Harvest. Okay, Sting. You can take a shot and it doesn't mess with your reveal. It's a good one. It's not a great one, but it's useful for other things in there. And Soul Harvest, every time you make a shot, it adds a little bit to your crit. So it makes it so that it feeds into that ability that lets you kill and stay in invisible, in stealth mode. So yeah, it's a great pick as well. It's a useful ability, and yeah, the other one was too good. Reflex, I would say, again, an okay pick. That's an okay pick. Reflex is an okay pick. Every time you're fired upon, you gain 1 extra action on the next turn. Yeah, that's a, you know what? Let's give it a great. Let's give it a great. Everyone needs to be an insta kill. Free Ripdrax strike on people who come in your area. So retribution, I can see that being useful, like very useful. So I will say, you know what, in concert with other stuff, we'll put it right there. Reckoning unlocks the Ripperjack slash attack. You can just use it as a regular attack. I guess that's okay. It's fine. It's not gonna win you a fight though. It's fine. It's not that bad. Total combat. Throwing a grenade or using an item no longer ends your turn. It's skippable. The reason I say skippable is because, okay, what's in situations where you need to use an item or throw a grenade first, couldn't you just shoot first then use the grenade? Like, I don't know. It's kind of tricky to me because I want to say it's okay, but at the same time, like, what uses are it outside of certain scenarios? And that's the overall thing. Waylay. When entering Overwatch, you can take as many shots as you have remaining actions. Yeah, it's a great one. It depends on the situation. Actually, we'll put that. We'll put that as the top of okay, and we'll put that as the top of okay. Yeah, so that's my list. If you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. If you guys want to put your own list, go right ahead. Oh, in the end screen of this video, there's a tier list for my previous tier list for this game, and also XCOM even more XCOM-like games that are out right now. Go check those 2 videos out. Thank you for stopping by. I'll catch you in the next one.